Edgy Tim on before. Now we're going big time, baby. Coach Big Pete is with us from Deep Dish Football. And Coach Big Pete, great to have you on today, buddy. How you doing?
Thanks again. It's a beautiful day. Thank you for having me.
Hey, let's talk about Deep Dish Football. You know, I've been following that for a long time, and you must be a pizza guy. And every time I read that, I go, man, I like to have a piece of Giordano's pizza. Is that how it started for you?
Actually, no, I'm actually a Think Trust fan myself. I actually retired from football last year, 2015, and I was named Publisher 6 of Deep Dish Football. And Deep Dish Football is basically a group of coaches who I don't talk to anymore because they're doing the game right now. They're starting the game. They're doing their teams. But I'm the main publisher for Deep Dish Football. Basically, we do an influx of tips and everything with college coaches and high school coaches.
And you're a big Illinois high school football fan, too. I knew you went to a game last night. Tell us about the game you went to real quick.
Yeah, sure. I went to Shepherd in Evergreen Park. They were undefeated 2-0. Shepherd looked great, nice swarming defense. Shepherd does a little bit of the run and shoot offense with a little bit of the right run, hybrid, fast and furious into a 2. They won 24-7. Shepherd, again, looked unbelievable. Great defense, great swarming defense. Their guy Harrison basically did one of the best jobs that I've seen as a defensive player. Basically played the zone unbelievably, and he got an interception. So
those are suburb schools, right? Like Evergreen Park.
Yes, they're in the suburbs, Palos Heights.
Okay, who do you like to cover when you're covering games? I know you kind of bounce around a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, me personally, I coached at Westmont. It's a small school.
Mm-hmm.
I like small school football because it doesn't have that artificial feel like bigger schools.
Yep.
I like small schools, and I also like big schools.
You need to go to North Boone. I was at North Boone last night, North Boone, Oregon game. They got a guy at 6'5", Coach Big Pete, that actually wears a Viking outfit. He's not a student, but he's got the beard and everything. That's the kind of stuff you like, isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. I was actually hoping to go to Dakota and Forston game. Yes, I was hoping to go there, but it didn't. The people didn't vote for it. But I really honestly wanted to go to the Dakota and Forston game.
Hey, when we look at it, what are some of the things you're looking for when you go to a football game? You've been a coach, and you talk a lot about it. And I've seen you rate players before. What do you look for when you go to a game? Is there a guy you're looking for, or sometimes people just pop out for you?
I think the most important thing that people don't understand about recruiting is the coaches are looking for the most talented player, but also looking for the player that best exemplifies a team player that can get along with the team and is not sort of a diva. Because there's been problems now with college football, and most of the college football coaches that I'm talking to, they don't want a problem in the media.
When you look at some of the players out there, tell us some of the players you're looking at right now that you like, especially that you've been covering or have an idea you want to keep an eye on.
I think a big one is, again, I think Zach Olsa-Palatine. I think he doesn't get enough respect.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think he doesn't get enough respect. I like Stevenson's quarterback, Aiden O'Connell. He's another guy that I really, really like. I think the tight end from Salem, Cole Stewart, is another one. Austin Avery, the tight end from Yorkville, he's another good one. I think the offensive tackle, Max Edwards from Johnston City, down in the Black Diamond Conference by Carbondale, he's a big offensive tackle. No one knew about him, but Lovie Smith knew about him. Mm-hmm. Illinois was interested in him, but he committed to SIU.
So he got away from the Big Ten school and went down and played were they in the Ohio Valley Conference now, or? Yeah. So that is
Missouri Valley at SIU. He committed to SIU, and he's a big thing. And that Black Diamond Conference, which is usually 1-2A, is having a nice thing of talent. Carmel White County, their quarterback, he's slipping my name. He's slipping my mind, but he's another kid to watch out for. He's really, really good.
When you look at the state of Illinois and you really have a good eye on it, what do you think about the football in Illinois? How do we compare maybe to the Ohio's where I grew up and California's, Texas, Florida's? How's Illinois doing?
I think Illinois is okay, but again, Illinois is a basketball state. That's what a lot of people don't want to admit, but it's still a basketball state. And I would say some of the schools, 10 to 20% of the top athletes aren't playing football. They're playing soccer, or they're not even playing sports at all.
That's a good thing. There was actually a conference a Coach Big Pete that I used to follow back in Ohio, they won't add soccer to their programs because they don't want to hurt their football programs because they're smaller schools. Are you surprised more schools don't do that a little bit?
I'm actually a lot of surprised. But to be truthful, you have a few big guys that can't play Pop Warner because of weight limits or Pee Wee football because of weight limits. I always encourage linemen to play soccer because it keeps them nimble.
Yeah. Hey, when you look what's going on in high school football, you have the concussion issue. I was talking to Matt Troha about, eliminating the kickoff, which they did Pop Warner. What do you see the key issues for high school football? Because it seems like, people are closing in on what they want to see and not want to see in a high school football game.
Well, I think the main thing with concussion is, and again, I had a great talk with Matt Bowen, who's a coach at ICC and is a former NFL player. The main thing that they have to do to go with the kids, they have to teach these kids the rugby style of tackle. You can't do the old fashioned tackling. You have to go through rugby style tackle. You have to technically teach these kids each step in a tackle. And the coaches that have any reason of putting kids with concussions back into the game, they should be fired. No ifs, ands, or buts. If a kid shows one slight sign of a concussion, he should be taken out, no matter what.
So you're see that as a good thing? Have you ever had to deal with that when you were a coach, where you had to make that decision on when a kid comes out and things?
Yes, I was. I was a JV coach last year, and I saw a kid. He was blinking his eyes. His eyes were in the back of his head. He wasn't paying attention. I told him to go see a trainer. He ended up having a concussion.
And what are some of the signs that you see when sometimes a kid looks okay when he comes off the side? I know they all go through a class now and some protocol stuff. What's the key thing that you can see that maybe sometimes is overlooked in that situation?
One thing is sensitivity to light and memory, and a little bit of memory loss, and not paying attention to the coach's eyes.
I may have that case that I'm 62 years old, Big Pete, so maybe I already have concussion. I didn't even know it because I have memory loss and I sleep a lot.
I think I have some memory loss too.
You know what? It's hard to beat a Friday night with high school football. I even like the bands now and the cheerleaders and all that stuff. Can you find anything else in sports that's as much fun as going to a good high school football game?
No, I was a big pro football guy, college football guy, until I decided to go back to coach high school football, and it just grew in my heart that I really love high school football. It's a great thing. It's really a beautiful thing.
Okay, quickly tell us, if we want to get a hold of Deep Dish Football and Coach Big Pete, how do we get a hold of you and how do we look for you? Because I got you on my Twitter, but give us some ideas on what you can do and not do.
How to follow me?
Yeah, how to follow you, big guy.
Okay, on Facebook, it's Deep Dish Football. On Facebook, it's Coach Big Pete. On Twitter, it's at Deep Dish FB. And on Twitter, it's at Coach Big Pete. We're also on YouTube, and we are also on Tumblr, and we're working with a few things, and we might get a website or not. So hopefully everything works out.
And you're enjoying it, aren't you? Did you ever think technology would be something that you really would enjoy? Because it sure makes it a lot more fun, doesn't it, doing high school football?
Honestly, no. I know a bunch of people. They get paid by boosters to research kids when they go to college football. And social media is a big helper for college coaches to find out if any kids are basically on that ledge of being in trouble or not.
Hey, Coach Big Pete, we'll have to have you on again. Thanks so much for doing it today. And I think you're eating out with some of your friends today, right?
Yep, I really do, and I really appreciate for you letting me come on. Thank you so much.
We'll do it again sometime, okay, bud?
I will do. Thank you.
Deep Dish Pizza. Check it out, Coach Big Pete. That is going to wrap up a very, very, very busy day on the Stateline Sports Hour.